and welcome back to my channel. Today is the 42nd day of my 11th ENTRYPOINT WATERFAST. So for the past 42 days, I haven't eaten any food. I've been drinking water only or drinking black coffee. And I gotta tell you, the past week has been very interesting. So first, for those of you who follow me, the last week, especially in my professional life, I experienced a very strange Friday where somehow I felt like I wasn't very productive from Monday to Thursday, but on Friday everything came together and I actually scored very important work points, and I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. So every year I have to come up with a Christmas present for our top 200 customers. I work as a marketing director. So this is my third year. So the first year I made my God, too bad I don't, like, it's behind me. I'm gonna go for it. I'll show it to you maybe if you're interested some other time. But I came up with this amazing present. Everyone loved it. So the second year, I came up with even a better one. And already since last November, like every single week, I'm being asked if I've thought of or came up with a present for this year. And from Thursday night to Friday night, I came up with it. And it was really amazing how somehow on Friday, I felt like this stress, I guess, or something that I carried with me all this time, it just disappeared. It was great. And a lot of things happened on Friday, so this was very interesting. Then on Saturday, I did another of my chess experiments, because I try to play. The experiment is that I play chess online. I want to see if my ELO will improve or not. Now what's interesting is that when I played the first session last Saturday, 2 weeks ago, and I played it for 10 hours, my ELO jumped up by, I would say, 150 points, but then it dropped down and it stayed level. So that was the first round of the experiment. The second round of the experiment, you can also see it on my YouTube profile right here in this video. I did it for 8 hours, and I actually played worse than a week ago. So what I'm gonna do is that next Saturday, 6 days from now, I will play again. And this is the one of the announcements I want to make, is that I will end this Waterfast a week from now on Sunday. So I will do. Now we're talking about the chess experiment. So I will do it on Saturday. That would be 48 days not eating, and then I will continue to do this chess experiment 2 more times. One right after I start eating, so probably Monday, 8 days from now, and then I will do it a week later, and that way I will close the experiment, and we will see if the brain works differently during fasting, during the initial eating, and then a week later. So that's for that. And as I said, I will stop next Sunday, and I will tell you guys how I'm gonna eat this first time. And it's actually really nice, and it somehow ties together with my approach to life. And I have to say one more thing, and I hope you listen all the way till here. The title of this video is the meaning of life. And of course, after I tell you how I'm going to start eating, I will tell you what I consider a big insight for myself called the meaning of life, or maybe one of the meanings of life. So next Sunday, imagine this, right? So back in I think 2017 or 2018, I read an online article. Maybe later, or maybe for the eating, I will include it in the description to the video. But I think Tim Ferriss, you know him. I think he's he does videos and he publishes information about success and how to work on yourself. So back then in 2018 or 17, I read his article where he says that one of the best diets, or the way to eat, is to eat Mexican food, but to drop out the tortillas and rice, and basically just eat the meat, the vegetables, and maybe beans. And I found out back in 2017 and 18 that there's this food chain in the Czech Republic that has, when you go to a food court in shopping malls here in Prague, Czech Republic, that they do Mexican food. So back in 2018 and 19, I used to go there, and I would order something what they called the burrito bowl. And I got beans, guacamole, all the meat that they had, vegetables, and it was great. So, back then I didn't know that this was keto food, low carb, right? So every now and then I would go there, and then I did my first water fast in 2019. And when I finished this water fast, or during this water fast, actually the first one, in 2019, that I was 43 years old, the first fast somehow opened my brain to cooking. And I started cooking, and I realized, I'll tell you what I realized. So during the fasting, I was looking on YouTube videos. I think because of, it somehow when I guess you don't eat, it satisfies you to look at the YouTube videos about food. And I was looking at food, and I really enjoyed videos where someone was cooking. And by looking at the videos, and the first fast I did for 50 days. So for 20-30 days, I was every day looking on videos how people cook. And I feel like I almost learned how to cook. So I ordered all the cooking equipment because I didn't have anything because I never cooked. And when I finished the fast, I cooked myself something. I don't remember what it was. I cooked it. When I was eating it, I was like, holy smokes, this is so good. That's unbelievable, right? But then I realized that, hey, maybe it's because I didn't eat, right? So a few days later, I cooked myself something else, and again, I was so amazed. And when I say amazed, I was amazed because I knew that I didn't know how to cook, yet the food tasted better than all the foods that people cooked me my whole life. So then I think I invited my son, and I cooked him something, and he loved it. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So then I cooked something for my parents, and they loved it. So I was thinking, hey, maybe I can cook. So if I can cook, let me like raise the bar. So eventually, I think it was in December 2019, I somehow it happened that in December 2019, I was supposed to cook food for 15 or 10 of my friends who would all meet in downtown Prague in a flower shop of my friend, and we would have a big dinner there. So I said, you know what, I will cook for my friends. So I prepared a three-course menu. Now I don't think it's correct to say 3-course. It was something like a starter that you can just like take with your hand. And then it was the main course, and then it was dessert. And for the main course, because so I pre-prepared all the food at home. And I put it in my car and I drove there, and there I had to finish it off. And so I planned everything, and of course I didn't just want to give them food, but I want to give them more than just food. I want to give them a big experience. So back then I was explaining to them this story about me searching for the diet, and then finding this fast food chain in Prague. It's called Habanero, and I told them how I would go there and order this burrito bowl. And I told them that I want to recreate this for them. So for this meal, I created, I cooked the beans, I cooked the meat, and basically what I did is that when we were in the flower shop, I set up everything on the table. Everything was fresh. We also brought heaters and everything, and they were standing there, and I told them the story. And as I was telling them the story, I said, look, and I was plating for myself. And then after I showed it to them, I welcomed them to go behind the table and make the plates for themselves. Because I didn't want to get to the point. It was very practical, but I went with the story, because this is exactly what I was experiencing at Habanero. Because they had everything in nice bowls separately, and I said, look, put in my bowl this, and that. And also it went well, because it was much more interesting than if I tried to put everything on 15 plates or 10 plates and then carry it around. So this was very practical. And for the dessert, I actually did the same setup with the story, and they really enjoyed the dessert. And to make the long story short, there's like two more things I gotta tell you. First one, what I was surprised about, that a few months later, my friends would be telling me that they dream about the dinner and the food that I made them. So that was, to me, one big surprise. Well, now the big point, right? The second thing. So years go by, and I speak with a colleague of mine, and he tells me that he knows the owner of this food chain, Habanero. So we met about a month back. I was telling him some ideas what he could do with his marketing, and I told him, you know what? You have everything so fresh. Why don't we do a quick video about how you have everything fresh? So I went to one of his fast food places, and I did a recording how they set up this dish, and I also recorded how they prepare, I think, their salsa in the kitchen in the back of the counter. And guys, I gotta tell you, like, the videos happen. I will probably maybe include a link also. I will include it in the event description when I post it. So when I was there, oh my god, the kitchen was so clean, everything was so fresh. So I shot the videos, and the owner liked them. So today we agreed that I would do my cast from his habanero place, and I will exactly have the no rice, no tacos set up. But what's even more nicer, and that's what I like about see, everything I try to do, I'm always happy when it's about synergy. That it's thanks to the fact that it's not 1 + 1, it's not 2 but 3. So this owner, we will do it at a place in a shopping mall, which is completely dead on Sundays. So I gave him an idea that he liked, that we would do a Mexican afternoon Sunday event where he would introduce 2 dishes. that people can try and evaluate. And in the same time, I will do my live cast from this event. So this is what's coming up. I'm looking forward to it. And now I gotta tell you the big insight about the meaning of life. See, what's very interesting, and I'll tell you my mental journey, how I got to this insight. So as I'm living my life and I'm doing the 11 entry-point waterfast and I don't eat, I realize that everything is bland. Nothing really excites me, and I feel that the only thing that can excite me is eating food. Now, when I realized this, immediately a thought that I feel a little bit ashamed, because I feel like, am I so primitive that the beauty of life doesn't excite me, but it only excites me to eat food? But of course, because I'm a Homo sapiens that thinks about things, and as I described in the video down here, Entry Point Academia, about psychology and about how I view the world, I look at the situation through my entry point glasses, and I realized one thing that not everyone knows, but a lot of people know. And when you go through life, you do things that you enjoy, right? So you eat foods that you like. You are excited about the things you are excited. Your kids achieve something, you feel great. You have a great relationship and you're excited. You see something nice, and it's like, wow, George, what a beauty. You take a sip of a great wine and you say, this is amazing. Now, this is not exactly what's happening. That's what you say, but in reality what happens is when you do these activities, your brain releases dopamine. So when the brain sees something that it likes, it sends you dopamine. When the taste buds react in a certain way, the brain sends you dopamine. Now, of course, you don't associate dopamine with, probably the brain gave me dopamine. No, you associate it with the event that's happening, which is not bad. This is actually desired. You know why it's desired? Because that's just like when you train AI, when you train your dog. It's like a punishment and reward. So how does the brain motivate you to do something? It motivates you by when you do something that the brain thinks it's good, it gives you dopamine, and that way it conditions you to do it again. Now, if I know this, that's how it is, and that's how it is, you might say, no, that's not how it is, but it is how it is. That's how the brain works. Well, then when you think about it, right, I'm thinking, okay, the brain is not giving me dopamine for anything. I had big success on Friday, no dopamine. I agreed on this streaming event, which I'm looking forward to, because I will also invite my friends there. Maybe someone will come. In real life, it will be so much fun and weird. Eating food for the first time. Maybe I know my parents and my son will be there, so it will be strange. So no dopamine. Only I feel that the brain will release dopamine if I eat food, right? Now, what was very interesting is that what is in reality eating food? Again, let's look at it from entry point glasses, right? From the point of view of this filter. Well, in reality, eating food is that you managed to get energy from your environment and let's say took it inside and use it for your benefit, right? That's what eating is. Now, so we call eating getting energy from the environment for your benefit. So that's like the meta description of what eating is. But this meta description could be also applied, for example, to hunting. I go hunting, I catch an animal, then I get the energy for myself, right? So if hunting is the same thing as eating, so let's look at hunting, right? Now, what is hunting? Hunting, again, when you look at it, it's not just, oh my god, I'm going to catch something and then eat it or release it. No. When you look at it again through entry point glasses, hunting in reality is the most important fundamental engine of the most important fundamental principle on this planet and probably in the universe, which we call right now evolution. Why is evolution important? Because evolution is a mechanism that forces individual organisms to evolve and become more advanced. So if long time ago, as I described in the video over here, so about 500 million years ago, our ancestors came out of the sea, right? And these ancestors didn't know how to, couldn't stream anything, couldn't develop AI, couldn't make these glasses. But through the process of evolution, they evolved so that they were able to evolve into the form that we are right now. That's why evolution is important. The main gear, the main engine of evolution is hunting, which the meta description is trying to get the energy. So hunting, you have the predator and you have the prey. So the predator is going after the prey, and the prey is coming up with strategies how to escape the predator, and the predator is evolving its strategies to get to the prey. And that's exactly what the engine of evolution is. Because by trying to come up with better strategies, you are evolving yourself. And you see it because it's universal all over the place. You look at cell phones, they evolve too, right? Because and which way do they evolve? They evolve again to make us more productive, to make us more safe. In other words, to be better from the meta point of view, hunters. So let's say that you are God or the programmer of evolution, and you come up with this great thing. Hey, they will be hunting, they will be trying to run away, and we'll make this environment, and we will just let them come up with strategies, and we will watch which way they will evolve. Well, it's more than genius idea. That's like amazing way how to set up an environment and over time watch how it evolves, right? Now, so we set up this environment, and then we realize it's not working. Why is it not working? Well, they are not motivated to hunt. And then you realize that logically, that eating must be the biggest motivator for for someone to go hunting. And how would you make eating the biggest motivator? Well, by the brain giving the biggest dopamine dose when you eat food. Because by brain giving you the biggest dopamine dose when you eat, it motivates you the more to do whatever it takes to get the food, to hunt, because that's the engine of evolution. Now this was my insight and my hypothesis, right? So I checked on the internet, and what's really to have a list of what the dopamine doses are for various activities. And if you take away drugs, food is number one. Now, so this was my big insight, because I can, okay? Now, not only, but let's apply the insight to what I'm experiencing and what I think I will be experiencing and what you are experiencing. So I go through life and I see that I don't get dopamine dose for anything. Nothing. Everything's bland, right? So first thing is that, hey, maybe you can imagine it like, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but you have glasses set up into a pyramid, and then someone takes a champagne, they pour it on the first glass, and it overflows to the other ones. So imagine that the first glass is called, eating food. Then on the second level you have sex, you have, like these, let's say the main basic things. And then let's say you have, movies and like other stuff. And then the brain, when it pours the dopamine, it only puts it into the food glass first. Now, if I don't eat, the first glass is empty, it doesn't pour anywhere else. So I think that the way nature set it up is until I eat, the brain will not release dopamine for anything. And what I'm looking forward to, playing this hypothesis and looking at the world through my entry point glasses, that once I start eating, meaning I overflew the first glass, what will be the next dopamine shots or events that I will get dopamine for? Will it be immediately for everything? Will it be only for certain things? That's what I'm looking for, and I wanted to share with you this insight. I find it very cool and very interesting. And one last thought before I leave. I don't know if you heard of something called enlightenment, or feeling one with everything, or being disassociated with everything. And so one amazing thing, by the brain not giving me dopamine for anything, all of a sudden everything that I see around me, everything, it's like on the same level. Not only that nothing is positive, but nothing is negative. And I can feel that it just like puts you in this nice flow. So that's what I really like. Next week, Sunday, I will start eating. On Saturday, I will continue my chess experiment. I will post everything within the next few days on my YouTube channel as an event. Probably the food part, I don't know, I still don't know how I'll do it technically, but for sure the first food I will stream to the fast food chain Habanero, and I will have to do it in Czech. That's what we agreed with the owner. But I think I will, if I manage it technically, I will try to stream even on the YouTube channel everything, even the Czech part, because or I will maybe mix it with English. We'll see how it goes. Who cares? Somehow we will end. end up, and we'll see how it goes. So guys, thanks a lot for your support. If you have any questions, my contact information you can find in the description to this video, and we'll see how this week goes. And again, thank you for your support, and feel free to contact me, and see you soon in probably a week. Bye bye.